One of my new favorite hobbies of late is to go for walks, even on crappy days like today. I mean, it's just a bunch of water falling from the sky. Do I care about that? No, look, there's a bunch of water right over there. I don't even give a shit. But the good thing about these walks is it allows me an opportunity to clear my head, get away from work, and just enjoy the outdoors. It affords me the rare opportunity to touch grass. It also offers well-needed respite from that accursed internet that several people told me would one day rot my brain. I think we should have a conversation about that.
I've been a card-carrying traverser of the internet for a long time now. I'm going searching on a search engine. And in that time, I've seen things you wouldn't believe. I saw an image of the cast of Happy Tree Friends orgying it up with Sonic the Hedgehog characters. I didn't ask for that. Whatever I am now, it is not what I once was. I am altered. Scarred. There are dark, dark corners of this world. But you know something, in a weird way? I appreciate that stuff. Saying it forces me to confront just how strong the word appreciate is. It's not the content that I'm appreciative of. It's the sheer bare minimum fact that it was made by a person. Not one I would ever like to meet, but a person all the same. Someone woke up one day, opened up their drawing program, and spent what was surely a long time working on that image. I understand how long it can take just to draw an image with a single character in it, let alone a Sistine Chapel-sized diorama of anthropomorphic animals just and with remarkable flexibility. And he doesn't even have any hands, but and then Shadow the Hedgehog shows up.
I should never have been created.
But again, at least a person did it. A person made that art. It's heinous, it's awful, it's worthy of scorn, but it's art. Generative AI is a danger to art because it could never create that type of image on its own. You could type a description of it into a prompt, but it'll probably give you a Sonic with 12 fingers, eyes that just aren't right, all with a strange, inexplicable, glossy sheen. It would have no humanity behind it. That's why it's incredibly disheartening when AI is used by lazy ghouls looking to replace humans so that they can save a couple bucks. Ooh, is that a tool that's used solely by grifters that can only operate while using theft on a near-apocalyptic scale? Well, this should be an integral piece of our company and a core philosophy for us moving forward. So when creating media about the question of AI, I think there are some fascinating discussions that can be had about its prevalence, even if an easy jumping off point is by asking the question, what if it's evil? You can get interesting movies, thoughtful stories, or just fun schlock using that question. And as a fan of all three, I'm usually game for an evil artificial intelligence story.
Welcome to Global Industries, Life Simplified.
Which leads us to the 2024 film Subservience. Directed by S.K. Dale and starring Megan Fox, the film tells the story of a family that purchases a lifelike robot played by Megan Fox. This product line of robots are meant to act as assistants. They cook, they clean, keep schedules, and they take the place of your useless wife. What? Our main character in Subservience is Nick. He's a construction worker with 2 young kids. Their mother gets sick, ending up in the hospital, and Nick struggles to raise the 2 kids by himself. So he buys a robot person to take care of everything for him. Shit, I was partially raised by a single parent with 2 kids. I'm related to several other people that have and are raising 3 on their own, all while trying to keep everything else in their lives in order. I'm sympathetic to the struggle, but I think Nick might just be a bitch. Now, obviously, with this movie being a thriller, we as the audience know that the robot nanny is gonna turn evil any fucking second and gain a taste for blood. But we do have some opportunities to address interesting ideas that have been brought up. Nick purchases a robot to handle things for him. He's obviously well off enough to make an investment like that, so why wouldn't he just hire a human nanny? Well, there is a willingness to replace flesh and blood humans with robots that permeates this story. Nick himself is on the verge of losing his job at the construction site because the greedy corporation in charge wants to replace people with the near indestructible robots. He also, at home, needs something to stimulate his cock. Something he is more than happy to have robot Megan Fox take care of for him.
Let me do this for you.
Yet for some reason, the movie just doesn't want to confront the interesting questions at the heart of the story. There is something to be said about people who think that devoting an insane amount of resources into a technology under the guise that it'll make life easier when it frequently just doesn't work or is just straight up dangerous. Instead, the movie seems singularly focused on whether or not it's okay for Nick to fuck the robot. Which is fine. I mean, Ex Machina is all about the veracity of robot fucking, and it's great. But Subservience goes about things differently. On more than one occasion, Nick has sex with robot Megan Fox, despite her having lived in the house for, 72 hours. I was half expecting him to head to the hospital to smother his wife so that he can keep the manifestation of his sexual frustrations at home with him, and then Pyramid Head can come and kill him.
I was weak.
But what's truly crazy about the whole thing is that Nick blames the robot. He gets mad at her for having sex with him. He says, I made a mistake. He tripped and fell and landed, exposed cock first into her. It's nice to know that the robot who has the official capabilities of a goddamn day planner is also well-versed in missionary. Anyway, robot Megan Fox, whom they name Alice because the daughter was reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Sure, Chief. Yeah, she's 6 years old living in the future. There's no fucking way she's reading Lewis Carroll. If she was actually the one who got to name the robot, it'd be called Coco Melon. But maybe if that was the robot's name, his shithead father wouldn't want to fuck it. Alice questions, correctly, why on earth she would be to blame for having sex with Nick. She argues that she's only trying to help him by offering stimulation that he desired with his wife being in the hospital. And she asks if he just didn't enjoy it, to which he angrily responds, "Don't analyze me again." Cause that ain't a red fucking flag. Later on in the film, Nick's wife comes back from her deathbed.
Got better.
She finds Alice very off-putting and finds out that her husband had sex with her, again, more than once, and she's understandably livid and confronts Nick about this. His honest-to-God response is, well, you have a vibrator. That's incredible. What a fucking guy. Goddamn, dude, get a fleshlight. Get a fucking sock. Figure it out. Your wife may have had a vibrator, but she didn't ask the vibrator to drop the kids off at school after a session. And it does seem like Nick's wife is going to leave him for this. His adultery is just a bridge too far. Unfortunately, she comes to this realization right as Alice is going on a rampage. You see, in addition to being a sex-craved harlot, she also killed a guy earlier. Small potatoes in comparison, I know, but the family doesn't want her around anymore, and she's hurt by this. She wants happiness, and she's determined to get it, and the best way she feels she'll be able to obtain it is by killing the family. So Nick and Maggie, his wife, she does have a name. You wouldn't know that based on how Nick treats her, but she does have a name. And the duo team up to fight and defeat Alice, but she has gained the same powers as Johnny Depp in the movie Transcendence, and she uploads her entire consciousness into the shared network of Megan Fox robots. Massive oops on the part of her manufacturer. Thank goodness there aren't any companies in our reality that would engage in cybersecurity malpractice like that. Aren't you grateful for that? But in defeating robot Megan Fox, all blame can be shifted to her. Nick's transgressions can be ignored, and he and the family can live happily ever after. He is just a man, after all, and his wife was just too weak to sate his needs at the time. She couldn't cook her special lasagna recipe, she couldn't clean the house, and she wasn't able to have sex from the confines of a hospital bed. Megan Fox, on the other hand, could, in her own cookie-cutter, copy-paste, mass-produced way.
Alice, I have a wife.
And that is Subservience, a movie that wants to be a mix of iRobot and Megan and thought starring someone named Megan would be enough to cover that. It has none of what makes those movies fun, enjoyable, or thought-provoking. The questions it raises don't really go anywhere, and the ones it does deign to answer are bafflingly shallow.
What have
once again, at least it was made by people. Like those terrible images in the shadows of the internet, you lose nothing if you never have to see them, but they managed to represent humanity's capacity for depravity in ways that no AI could ever hope to replicate. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I doubt YouTube will, but that's okay. I make stuff that I want to make, and if you want to support that struggle, you can go to patreon.com/ChrisTheNerd92. There's perks for patrons who sign up, no obligations of course, and even just a like on the video goes a long way toward helping me. I thank you as always, support me if you can, love me if you must, have a great rest of your day.